Hello, it's me, Janette. How are you? Hope you've been well. Hope you've been amazing. Subscribe. Sorry. In today's video, I'm working on some snail mail. So I'm going to be starting off with making my own envelope with this Martha Stewart scoreboard / envelope maker. And it's a little gunky in the back because this was like a hand-me-down, which I am all about. So anywho, I'm looking at the dimensions here and it tells you how big to cut your paper, and then it shows you where to score your cardstock so that you know exactly everything that you need to create your envelopes, which is a great idea. I don't know why I haven't. I've had this thing for years and I don't know why I don't use it more. Because you save a ton on envelopes, which I end up buying all the time for like thank you cards and snail mail in general. So a good idea to get an envelope maker if you don't have one. They're really helpful. So once you cut your card to size, I think the one I'm making is 7.5 by 7.5 inches. Then you just line it up on the 4-bar lines. And you'll see just in a bit what that looks like. And then you just make your scores along the lines and you'll see. You're going to see what's happening. But for today, after I make my envelope, I'm going to be working on a snail mail / random act of kindness / thank you card. So it's all of those things in one. So this is going to be a thank you card for a beautiful random act of kindness that I received. So I wanted to send this person like a little thank you note, but also send them some of my just things that I have in my stash that I wanted to share. So I thought it would be fun to do like a little bundle of items, which you will see in just a bit what I'm talking about. Here I am struggling to figure out where exactly. This always confuses me as to where exactly I need to score. So obviously, you score where it says like 4-bar, but it just confuses me every time. I don't know why. So I am gonna figure it out though, because I'm an adult. So it takes me a while every time, and sometimes I mess up and ruin a whole like piece of cardstock, and it's very upsetting. But anyway, it all worked out here. So once you do your score lines, you like burnish them, fold them down, and then you're going to cut little triangles where the score lines meet. So you'll see here, there's 4 little triangles, like a little triangle that's created from the score line. So you just snip that, and then you do it on all 4 sides, and then you'll have an envelope. So definitely recommend investing in a scoreboard just in general is a good idea to have in your stash, but also an envelope maker. And there's a lot of just products out there from different brands that have this type of thing. Like Martha Stewart is not the only one that has that fancy little scoreboard. I want to say We Are Memory Keepers has one, which I will try to find and link below, because I've used that one and that one works well. And also, there's another one. I can't remember. Sorry. But yeah, here you go. There is your envelope, and then you just glue on the 2 edges there on the flaps that come in from the side. You glue that. I'm going to use just glue stick, nothing fancy. And then you have your envelope ready to go. And I love it because you're able to use any gorgeous cardstock that you have in your stash. And I wanted to go for a kind of spring theme with this whole little bundle, snail mail bundle that I'm sending. And so I thought this paper was beautiful. Now to start off my little bundles, I am gathering up some doilies of different colors, like very springy, very pastel colors. I know the person that sent this, that sent the original rack bundle to me, the one that I'm thinking and making this for, they have mentioned, I believe, that they love doilies. And so I'm like, ooh, I've got plenty to share. So I'm making up this little doily stack, and that's gonna act as like my little primary base for my for this thing, this bundle, this happy mail bundle that I'm making. And I was just making sure that the doilies fit in the envelope, because I was grabbing some from my stash that were way too big and I was sad I couldn't use them, but make sure it fits in the envelope. And then I'm gonna grab some gold twine, because I do love twine. I love it so much, especially gold twine. Makes me happy. And then I'm gonna grab these Teacup Die cuts, also from my stash, which I've done a few stash building videos, so you've probably seen me die cut a bunch of these little shapes. And there's 2 here that I'm sending, so 2 little teacups, but I know for a fact that I have more, so I'm gonna find the rest and send. I think I end up finding and sending 5 of them, and I'm just gonna thread them through the little handle part and tie a bow. But first I need to find the rest of those teacup dies to send. Now there's something so satisfying about creating little bundles, like little stacks of paper, little stacks of cuteness, and then wrapping them all up and tying them up with twine. I don't know, especially gold twine. Like, this is my favorite twine. You've probably seen this a lot. So yeah, it just awakens a joy in me, and I really like it. I don't know if there's anything like that you do that just makes you really happy for some reason and you can't quite explain it, but it's a good thing. So I'm gonna tie off my little bow here, tie off my knot, and then trim off the excess. And then I'm gonna grab some more things in my stash that I know this person has mentioned that they like. And the reason I know that is because there's one of the lovely people that watches my lives regularly, and when I go, like when I reading the comments, I sometimes remember what people like. It's funny, like sometimes I remember just the randomest things. So I know this person likes tickets, I know they like frames and doilies, so I'm trying to include those things that I know this person has mentioned on live streams, and also, yeah, just in comments like that I've seen. So anywho, moving right along, and all these things, well, except the tickets, are things that I've built in my stash, well, and the doilies too. Anyway, I'll let you know where I got everything in case you're interested in getting the same things. But those frames are from a Sizzix die set. The teacups are from a discontinued magazine die set. The tickets are Maggie Holmes, and the doilies are from Recollections, so Michael's. So I've had them in my stash for a while. Also, I want to say Target. Maybe not. No, I'm pretty sure they're Michael's. And then the white doilies are from Amazon. Now, I wanted to include some journaling cards, but these 2 that I pulled are way too big, and I didn't want to trim up the one with the globe because it's really pretty. So I'm just going to trim this one up because it's just a plain like pattern, like the same kind of pattern on both sides. So I'm going to cut that down just so it fits. I think I ended up cutting it to 5 inches wide, and I'm going to end up creating a little pocket for this, for all those other journaling cards that I pulled from my stash, and also the frames, because they don't fit inside of the little bundle of doilies that I'm making. And because I trimmed off the cornered edges, I'm just using my corner punch to create some more cornered edges, which cornered edges, is that what they're called? That's a synonym. Rounded edges. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just making sure that everything fits, and I'm gonna create my little pocket with that piece that I snipped off. And I'm gonna be just doing a quick little style pocket here where I use really, really thin red liner tape to create just like to add red liner adhesive to just 3 sides of my little rectangle, and that's going to create a little pocket, just a short little pocket, but it's going to do the trick. It's going to hold my frames. It's going to hold my journaling cards that I want to send, and also some like sticky notes and other little doodahs and die cuts and ephemera that I also want to include. These lazy pockets are really easy to make because all you do is just add a little bit of adhesive to 3 sides of, you know, your pocket layer, and you just glue it down. And I call it lazy because there is a more polished and more secure way to create pockets, but I was just feeling tired. So I was going for the quick style way of doing that. And here I'm removing my release paper, trying to be all fancy with my tweezers and removing my release paper, which I've never been very good or graceful at. If you want to see some graceful tweezer action, some fancy tweezer action. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of when tweezers, if tweezers have ever been described as graceful tweezing. You might want to check out Ada from the Paper Treasury. She just gets, I don't know, I love the way that she crafts and she uses her little tweezers. I don't know, it's just very like graceful. Just makes me happy. Anywho, my pocket is done, and I'm going to be adding my journaling cards and also my frames and these little sticky notes, like these really cute sticky notes that I found, and they're like ticket shapes. And I know the person that I'm sending this to also likes little tickets. I read a lot of comments. This is how I know these things about people. Don't ask me to, you know, if you ask me what I had for dinner last night, I will struggle to remember, but I can remember random details about people. Anywho, so here I'm adding sticky notes, page flags, some like foliage die cuts that I have in my stash, some flowers, some more die cuts, some flower ephemera. I'm flipping the doily bundle over and then just kind of tucking in some really pretty floral ephemera from my stash. Like, I love this massive blue flower. It's so nice. So I'm just trying to tuck that in. Basically just trying to fill this as much as possible without also trying to not make it too bulky, because obviously I could send so much more, send like bigger, heavier items, but I'm also in the back of my head thinking about postage prices. The last thing I'm adding are some washi strips. So these are like washi sheets. That's what it is. It's like a washi sheet. And this really completes my whole little bundle because it's got washi, there's frames, there's sticky notes, there's floral ephemera, there's ticket shapes, there's doilies. Like, what more could you want in life, right? This just would make me so happy to receive. I wanted to personalize this with the initials of the person that I'm sending this to, and I didn't have any J's, so I got a W and made it into a J, and then thankfully I had an intact L, so JL. And what's funny is that I'm finding more ways to use alphas. And so let's say you have a bunch of alphas in your stash and you can't really spell anything because it's just consonants or just vowels. Try to find ways to change your letters, like just snip them. Like you can make E's into F's very easily. And also, like, yeah, you can make J's out of U's and also W's if they're like the rounded kind of W's. So yeah, there's just different ways. If you look at your alphas, stare at them a little bit longer. Don't give up on those last few stragglers, and you can try to create different letters out of your alphas. So now all that is left is my letter, which I'm gonna write a little note and just fold that up and add that, probably tuck it into tuck it into the pocket. But I also wanted to just kind of wrap the whole thing because the doilies are just kind of free-floating, loosey-goosey. So I wanted to wrap them in graph paper, like a graph paper scrap. You guys, I love graph paper so much. So much. And I'm so picky about graph paper patterns. Yeah. Anywho, so I just have this scrappy piece of graph paper, and I'm thinking about adding this little strip left over from the envelope paper, just kind of for continuity would be nice, but I didn't like the way that it looked on the rest of, I didn't like the way it looked with all the other colors in the bundle, so I'm just gonna stick to wrapping some gold twine around it and calling it a day. Okay, so I'm doing all the last finishing touches, putting my little bundle into the envelope, and I'm so happy that it fits and it's not too bulky, which will save me on postage. And then I'm just gonna glue this shut. Now for the address label, because the envelope is so busy, I thought the address might be hard to see or for like the computers to read. And so what I'm doing is just adding a little piece of graph paper on top, and then that's where I'm gonna write the address so that it's nice and legible, just so it doesn't get lost in the mail. And that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to see more of my crafty projects, you can find them on Instagram at Janette Lane Blog. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.